Hey, what's up? It's Mykill Metal, and I'm back to playing some Kerbal Space Program, and it is time for the Dres mission. I'm sending this out there, which is the Kethane and ScanSat satellite that's going to be scanning the planet for a few hours in time warp. And here's the burn out towards Dres with the nuclear rockets. Once I got there, I realized the first time that I didn't have enough fuel to circularize, so I had to send a second one, and this is that one. I'm starting the scanners right now while I'm flying over the North Pole. And this is what it looks like after it's done scanning. And I think if I'm going to put a base on here, I think I'm going to stick it right there on the equator, right between those two big patches. And now it's time to send the science lab, which is going to be housing 2 Kerbals indefinitely. I'm sending this out there right now on the Delta 6. Coming up on the gravity turn. There you go. About to separate the liquid fuel boosters. There they go. And this is what it looks like once it's in orbit. And I'm checking out the delta V calculations for the thrust to weight ratios. Make sure that this engine doesn't overpower the other one and screw up the burn calculations. Sorry. So start the burn, and then since I have the Klockheed Martian parts, it automatically ejects that once it's ready. Almost done with the burn. There we go. Time warping in on Dres. I'm going to circularize. And I'm going to drop this part right here once it's out of fuel. And as you can see, there's a docking port in there that I'm going to have to drop off. There you go. It's going to be floating around the sun pretty much forever. Time warping in on the station. And it's right about here that I realize I don't have any RCS on this thing. So I send the self-destruct command and send another one that has RCS tanks on it. And here's me bringing it in for docking as first. Keep the nuclear reactor as far away as I can. Transfer over some fuel and get ready for the Kerbals to launch. And then there are 2 Kerbals in the lander right now. This is the lander going up because they're going to be staying in orbit of Dres indefinitely. They will not be returning with the other 3 in the transport stage. As you can see, I've gone a little bit past my normal gravity turn point, so I get a little worried, and I was like, oh, it's set to turn at 12 instead of 6 or 7. There it goes. Separate the liquid fuel boosters. pointed down a little bit past the horizon, so that it burns a little bit circular before I warp up to the apoapsis. Get a nice view of Kerbal outside the window as I'm getting ready for time warp. And as you can tell, I added Kerbquake because I found it on the forums and I thought it would look awesome. So this thing's shaking like hell because of all the liquid fuel engines. And yeah, it does make a difference, as you can see in a minute with the nuclear engine burning. That's a very small amount of shake compared to the big liquid fuels, but the most is the solid fuels. The SRBs are insane with the amount of shaking. Turning over for the gravity turn. Separate the boosters. Take some screenshots, get some awesome views out the window. And here I am bringing it in for docking. Get it in nice and close and lined up with the docking alignment indicator from NavyFish. And turn this prograde once I get them connected, and set up for the burn, which takes a very, very long time. Because this ship is very heavy and that nuclear engine is not very efficient. Well, it's efficient, it's just not very powerful. Time warping in on Dres. Get a couple screenshots as it gets closer. Get set up for the circularization burn. Turn this thing around so they get better view out the window. And once I get close enough, about 75 to 50 meters, somewhere in there, 50 to 75 maybe, if you like saying it that way, and park it and detach so I can get this set up for docking without clipping those radiators. Slow it down a little bit and bring it in. I try to dock at about 0.2, maybe 0.3 at the most, otherwise it tends to knock things around. It's funny, but not productive. Set this up so it'll dock on the opposite one so it doesn't hit anything. There we go. And Fraps kind of fucked me over, so this is a recreation of the landing. This isn't the actual landing itself. Because I kind of lost that footage. Thanks, Fraps. Turn the engines on. Lower the periapsis down to about 9 kilometers. Time warp around and get set up for this, which is the kill the lateral velocity burn. I'm trying to aim for that little part right underneath where the gear is in the picture right now. Well, switching back and forth a lot. But yeah, try to get it set up there. Turn it so that it's a little straight, so that once he's straight up and down, he's got a decent view out the window. Just adding a little bit of distance, so I aim for the flat part, even though it didn't exactly hit a flat part, but that's another thing I like. There was a mod on CurseForge that was like pedal to the metal or something, or floor it. That was it. Floor it. It turns the Z key into a full throttle. How X is cut throttle, Z is full, which is awesome. It's extremely useful. As you can see, I'm using it right now. Just try to keep it around 20 meters per second until I get under 100 meters on the radar altimeter. And then gently bring it up and touchdown. And turn on the SAS so it doesn't flip over on me. Go outside, plant a flag. Just Dres Science Site. And get back in and get set up for launch. And I didn't try to time this like this, but it just ended up being awesome and perfect. So yeah, I decided not to cut it, at least until I showed you that I got the rendezvous on the first try. Realized it wasn't set as a target, even though it's green, which is weird. Burn this so that they're closer together. Under a kilometer. And get the setup on retrograde. And time warp up towards it. Start the burn a little bit late. I'm doing it manually, so it can't be expected to be perfect. Turn it around and head back towards it. Time warp so I don't have to waste fuel. Point it in the direction of the docking node. And bring it in for final docking maneuvers. And as you can see, the other ship isn't connected anymore. It's already on its way back to Kerbal. But this one is going to dock here. I'm going to send that guy back up to the science lab. And this is the ship on its way back to Kerbal. And here it is, making its return to Kerbal. Coming in nice and fast at with a periapsis of about 25 kilometers. Detach that so it's a little bit higher. And yeah, Curbquake shakes it with re-entry effects too, which is super awesome. Again, doesn't make it much past 7 Gs, which is awesome. It was at about 5 or 6 kilometers a second. And I'm going to drop subsonic and pop the chutes. And that's going to be it for this mission. I ended up getting about 20 to 2600 science, and I spent it on a fusion reactor. And I think next time I'm going to be sending people to Moho. So yeah, I'll see you later.